Hello there, everyone. Mediocre Otaku here, and today I wanted to talk about all of the information that came out over this past weekend for the new Dragon Ball Super movie, which is called Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Which, right off the gate, I'm not a fan of the name. I think it's going to be very confusing for people who are just starting to get into the franchise, because there's Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and now there's Dragon Ball Superhero. Um, But obviously, I know the difference. It's not really going to affect me, but for other people, it's going to be very confusing. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the short, like 30-second. I don't even know if I want to call it a trailer. Um, that we got for the movie, which is just a CGI Goku jumping around, which I was really hoping for a little bit more than just that. I was very underwhelmed by it. If the movie is going to be CG, if it looks like that, I honestly don't think I'll mind it. I'm going to try to keep an open mind because you never know. It might turn out really well. The CG doesn't look bad. This is going to be edited to shit. I'm pretty sure I hear my neighbors like yelling at each other outside. Hopefully, I can piece this together all right. Um, what was I talking about? CG. Um, yeah, I'm going to keep an open mind. Uh, I, for the time being, would prefer if it was 2D like all the other Dragon Ball stuff we've seen before. Um, the Broly movie was really the only time we saw any sort of heavy amount of CG in this franchise, which I wasn't a fan of how it looked in that, but it seems like, at least based off of what we saw in that trailer, it looks like they really stepped up their game. Um, and it looks kind of like the Fighters video game. So we'll see how that turns out. If it is in fact representative of what the movie's gonna look like, which I would be stupid if it's not. So I will have to wait and see. But I know in the initial statement, Toriyama said they were sort of experimenting with a new style. So everyone was sort of speculating 3D. It looks like for the time being, that's going to be the direction they're going to go in. It's definitely going to be better than Dragon Ball Evolution. I can pretty much guarantee that. As far as the actual panel went, it featured Masako Nozawa, and who is the voice of Goku, and two other people who, off the top of my head, I can't remember their names. Um, I think one of them is Toriyama's assistant or editor or something. Um, Even I don't doesn't he need an editor anymore these days. He's not actually like writing the story. I mean, he is in this case, but for like the manga and everything, he's kind of in a much more relaxed role. Um, anyway, and the other guy, this might even been the same guy. I don't know. I really need to. I should have done some research on this beforehand. He's kind of like the head of the Dragon Ball room, I believe. Um, so obviously all these people have some pretty heavy involvement in this movie, and not too much was revealed there either. They were showed a few character designs, which one of them actually got me really excited, and they showed some background pieces. We got to see, I guess Piccolo has a house now. I kind of just assumed he'd be chilling on Kami's lookout for his whole life, but apparently not. He built himself a house and he even has a mailbox, which I think is actually really funny. Um, so that's cool. But as far as the character designs go, we got to see Piccolo, Krillin, and Pan. Krillin was in his police officer outfit, which we saw was either in Resurrection F or Battle of Gods. I'm pretty sure we only saw it in Resurrection F. I might be wrong. But he actually has white eyes now instead of them being the same color as his skin, which you know they, I'll talk about Piccolo first before I get into this whole thing. Um, they showed Piccolo. He basically looks the same as usual, except like with Krillin, he's more accurate to the colors he's portrayed with in the manga. So his pink parts of his arms are now yellow, and instead of having a blue belt, it's red, which The color of the belt, I really don't care about one way or the other. Um, but I do think it's kind of weird that, these characters have been portrayed a certain way in the anime for the past 30 years. And it's not just the anime, it's like the video games and basically everything except for the manga. And now they're just sort of changing them. I kind of interested to see if they give Piccolo four fingers, because that's originally what he had in the manga, and then I think now in the super manga he's managed to work himself back up to five to match the anime. It's been a while since I've seen him in the super manga, so I don't really remember. I'm pretty sure they changed his design though. So yeah, it'd be super weird if all of a sudden Piccolo had four fingers in this new movie. But I don't know. Are just sort of arbitrarily. I guess it's not really arbitrary because there's they're basing it off of something, but just changing the way characters look after 30 years seems kind of weird to me. It's not like a huge deal. It just makes me feel kind of weird. um, but the most interesting thing was that Pan, in her character design, was clearly not a baby anymore, and she was wearing a kindergarten outfit, which, for those of you who don't know, at the end of Z, Pan was right around 5 years old um, during that last martial arts tournament. So this has me actually really excited because it's the first time Super's done a big time skip like that. There was like a year between Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and then after that, I think like everything was that happened was just supposed to take place in age 780, maybe going into 781. Um, so this is actually kind of a big deal, which makes me think back to the original statement that Toriyama said about the movie, about it featuring an unexpected character. Originally, I thought they were just going to bring back Cooler, which could still be the case, but now I'm thinking that maybe Oob could have some involvement in this movie. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping this takes place after the end of Z, which, if it doesn't, it's going to happen like right before that World Martial Arts tournament, obviously. Which I think would be kind of weird for them to place it there in the timeline. I think almost certainly this has to take place afterwards, but I could be wrong. Which I think is awesome because now, for me anyway, it feels like the stakes are going to be raised a little bit because prior to everything that's happened in Super so far, it's kind of like, yeah, there's some cool fights, but like, what what's at stake here? We know everyone's okay after those, well, not really anymore, but those seeming 10 years of peace after they defeated Majin Buu. So it's hard for me to get that invested in a lot of the story for that reason. So this is really cool. I have no idea how this is going to fit in with what's currently going on in the manga, or even if it's supposed to fit in with anything that's going on in the manga right now with all the granola stuff. Because I feel like the granola arc is just sort of getting started. It hasn't been going that long, and I kind of doubt that it'll be done by the end of 2022. But who knows? We don't even know when exactly this movie's coming out in 2022 yet. So that's another thing we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, Pan being 5 years old has me really excited to see what they're going to do. But what's also interesting is that in that CG trailer with Goku, he wasn't wearing his End of Z outfit. He was, in his typical orange and blue gi. So I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with that. I'd like to see him in his End of Z outfit. I'd like to see them change it up a little bit because it like the Resurrection F arc and Universe 6 tournament, we saw Goku and Vegeta sporting some at least different outfits. Goku's was still orange and blue, but at least it was different than what he'd been wearing basically since the androids arc, and then he just continued to he went back to that outfit. So I'm kind of bored of seeing it at this point. I think a change would be nice, but I we'll see. Everything I say is just afterwards. Just say, yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens. Um, and they also revealed a character design for a couple of villains, which I'm just gonna call them Thing 1 and Thing 2 for the time being, because we have really no information on these guys at all. I kind of doubt they're the main villains, although this movie is supposed to be way more laid back than Dragon Ball Super Broly. So it could be sort of like a Yo Son Goku and his friends return sort of situation with Avo and Kato, where it's just kind of like, yeah, these guys show up. They're not really that tough. They're just here, and it's a Dragon Ball Z thing, so we have to have a fight in there somewhere, even if it's nothing too crazy. I feel like there's probably going to be some heavier action than in that, but again, we'll have to wait and see. So that's basically all the highlights of everything that was covered, both prior to the panel and at the panel, and a little bit after the panel. So at this point, it honestly, if I hadn't seen that character design for Pan, I really don't even think I would have made this video, because that's really what got me excited to see what they're going to do. And hopefully it's good. Hopefully I like it. I liked the Broly movie. I'm enjoying the Granola arc so far. I liked the Moro arc in the beginning, and then it kind of not so much towards the end, but overall I still think the Moro arc is fine. But that's really all I can talk about at this point in time. If another big reveal happens, I definitely would like to talk about it, and we'll probably make another video. But for now, that's gonna do it for this video. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed me rambling on about Dragon Ball Super. And I'll see you all next time.